I won't let anything happen to you.
What'd you do?
I took care of it. All of it.
Alright, y'all, let's talk about Echo Valley, the new Apple TV Plus film starring Julianne Moore, Sydney Sweeney, and Domhnall Gleeson. And right off the bat, I gotta say that this movie wasn't exactly what I was expecting. The trailers gave us one thing, but what we got was definitely different. So the plot centers on Sydney Sweeney's character Claire, who's a drug addict constantly bouncing back into the life of her mother, played by Julianne Moore. Claire shows up needing help again, and this time it's serious. She's gotten into a nasty fight with her boyfriend, and in a fit of rage, she throws all of his stuff, including a duffel bag, off a bridge. And that's a bad move because the next day the boyfriend comes knocking, furious, claiming that there was a kilo of some kind of drugs in the bag. Now Claire owes $10,000 to Domhnall Gleeson's character. And yes, some light spoilers ahead, but this is all from the trailer. From this point, things escalate fast. Claire returns back to her mother again, covered in blood, which is what we see from the trailer, because she killed her boyfriend, or at least that's what she says. And from there, the story unfolds with some twists and turns, and it becomes less about Claire and more about her mom, played by Julianne Moore. Now, let me break this all down. So the standout here is 100% Julianne Moore, and it's funny because I just reviewed Sirens, where I felt like she was underused in that and kind of wasted in that role. But in Echo Valley, they actually swing the other direction. She's the emotional anchor of the whole movie, and I'll be honest, the trailers are a bit misleading because you think that this is going to be a two-hander between Moore and Sweeney, and they do have some great scenes together early on, but Sydney Sweeney's barely in this movie, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and I feel like 20 is really pushing it, and this movie's an hour and 45 minutes. And that's kind of wild because the entire marketing campaign leaned on her presence. So if you're watching for these two together, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed. That said, when Sydney Sweeney is on screen with Julianne Moore, she's excellent. Her performance as a struggling addict reminds me a lot of Zendaya's scenes in that big Euphoria episode. It's raw, intense, it's vulnerable. And she's got one major scene that's just devastating, and I honestly wish the movie gave her more scenes like that, more stuff like that to do. But really, this is Julianne Moore's film. She's playing a grieving, fiercely protective mother who's lost a lot and refuses to lose her daughter too. And you can see the weight that she carries in every frame. There's this quiet desperation in her that's really powerful. If you're a parent, especially a mother, this one might actually hit hard for you. Domhnall Gleeson, on the other hand, doesn't show up much either, but he's very prominent in the last 40 minutes or so. But what he does is be creepy, threatening, and magnetic. This is his second Apple TV product this year, following Fountain of Youth, and again, he plays a great villain here. He's not loud or over the top. He's kind of a character that makes you uncomfortable just by seeing in a room. Great work from him overall. I just wish that we got more of him earlier. Now, here's where the film kind of falters for me, however, and that's the pacing. That's been a problem in a lot of movies I've seen this year, because even though it's only an hour and 45 minutes, it feels like it's way longer, like pushing that 2-hour mark. The middle portion of the movie kind of drags, and once Sweeney's character exits the story for a while, the energy kind of dips. I actually thought that the runtime was closer to, like I said, about 2 hours, because it just moves so slowly in places. It's one of those movies where you're watching the clock wondering, when are things going to escalate again? And it's not really building up either until, like I said, the last 40 minutes or so. And while there are a couple decent twists in the final act, I can't say the story was all that engaging overall. There's not much mystery to unravel, and once the plot gets going, it becomes pretty straightforward. I never really felt that it pulled into anything that was happening. The production's solid overall, though, because it's Apple TV, so of course it looks great. The farm setting's atmospheric, the sound design works, and the emotional moments are well shot, and they're there, but as a story, it's just fine. It's great. You know, it's not great, but it's just fine. And so for final verdict for me, Echo Valley is a strong streaming thriller with incredible performances, especially from Julianne Moore, but a plot that feels very undercooked and misleading in terms of its focus. It's the kind of movie that you watch once, appreciate the acting, and move on from. And again, if you're showing up for Sydney Sweeney or Domhnall Gleeson or some of these other characters, just know that they're not in it nearly as much as they make it seem. And so overall, I'm going to give Echo Valley a 6 out of 10. It's not a must watch, but it's worth checking out if you're into slow burn thrillers or great acting showcases. And with that, please comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this movie. Did you watch it yet? Have you had a chance to watch it yet? What are your thoughts on these performances and the movie overall? What's your score? And with that, Like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
You must be Claire's mom.
Stay away from him, Mom. He's crazy.
Hey, Claire, why would you say that about a...